Hey, I'm Kent Brown, the host of the Ultimate Bass Radio Show on Sports 1140, and with me today, I'm getting a little revenge on him. My old buddy, Phil Clark from Galaxy Marine and the voice of True Bass, and we have had a heck of a day out here fishing on Folsom. We're throwing all the baits that cost under 10 bucks. We're fishing on a budget. We haven't spent 40 bucks today.
We haven't.
We caught the heck out of them. Now we got to go in, but stick around. You guys are going to see some great fishing. All the wakeboard boats are gone. All the jet skiers are gone. We finally get our lake back, and there's no water in it. But fall fishing is one of my favorite times to fish out here. You know, I mean, you've got to be so versatile. You catch them on top water. You can catch them on a swim bait. You can catch them, you know, jerking, throwing a spinner bait, or down in 40, 50 feet of water. You know, fishing worms or fishing jigs. So it's kind of cool. I'm looking forward to. Just kind of seeing how the day unfolds. I think we can catch some fish on dart heads and jigs. You know, I've been watching a lot of the shows. You guys aren't on much of a budget. You know, you guys are throwing $40 and $50 baits. I'm a radio show host, man. I got to come out here and fish with $5 bags of worms. So I think we should maybe fish a little less money today.
Let's fish on a budget today.
Let's fish on a budget today. Baits that cost less than 10 bucks.
Okay, let's do it. Pencil popper right here. Bait costs less than $5. Real heavy duty. It's got heavy duty hooks on it. It's got.
And it is a big fish bait. It is like a swim
it sure
bait.
is. It's got a little swivel right here, so when you hook a fish, it doesn't get the leverage to pull out. This one's beat up. I've been striper fishing with it, black bass fishing with it. I might even found this bait. This thing's will last forever. If you're fishing on a budget and you want to catch some big fish, that's a good bait for you.
Phil, there's a couple of humps out here that are lead off to the river channel, and they've got about 20 to 30 feet of water on them, and they break off to deep water. Let's go drag a dart head, drag a jig around, see if we can get a fish that are up top, you know, first thing in the morning out there.
Let's do it.
We'll be back in 60 seconds.
I am kind of cheating. We're out here trying to fish on a budget a little bit. Bait's under 10 bucks. I'm throwing a Storm Wild Eye Shad. It's under 10 bucks, so I think I can throw it. I couldn't leave all the swim baits at home.
He's totally cheating.
Kent, this LCX 38C sure is a nice unit to look at back here.
Isn't that a great unit?
Don't have to squint your eyes for that one.
No, no. Phil, I want to just kind of drag out on this saddle between the two islands. It seems to hold a lot of fish normally.
Ken, I'm going to put that little swim bait away and pull out
your trusty secret jig.
That used to be my secret weapon out here, and that's a baby bass hula grub. And since that last show, I had to kind of tell everybody about it. So. And another bait for less than 10 bucks.
Phil, look down at your meter right now.
Oh, it's going wild down there. Unfortunately.
There's a war going on down there.
Let's get on the board.
Just dragging that worm out there. I don't know how big this fish is. It was down there in about 20 feet of water. We come across that little pile of bait fish. I think it's a little guy. A little 6-inch dart head worm, and a nice little keeper spotted bass. Ah, it's funny. Little keeper spot. You know, when Andy Cuccia catches those, they're 4-pounders. This is just a little 6-inch Berkeley hand-poured worm. Just a good little shad color. Little 3/16 ounce dart head. The whole bag's about $4, and a bag of dart heads, you can get 10 of them for about 3 or 4 bucks, so still on a budget. You know, your depth finders are so important this time of year because they do allow you to fish offshore. They allow you to move off and fish offshore a little bit.
It's real hard for the guys that are just getting into the sport to get off the bank a little bit, and having a decent set of electronics where you can see the bottom, you know what's down there, it just makes it so much easier to come off the bank and fish out deep.
There's one, Phil. Did we almost have another double?
We almost had another double, but I missed him again.
This one's pulling a little harder.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This one's pulling a little harder. He might be a little better than the last one. He almost jumped for us. A nice little spot of bass. A little, you know, pound and 3/4. Nice little spot. A little rub on him.
Well, last episode, I kind of put it to Kent a little bit. Hey, Kent, we may be able to be tournament partners after all.
You know, we're working on it.
I catch the fish, and you tell to everybody about them.
Yeah, that'd be a great deal. You know what? I'm going to catch one. I've already lost one. Now all I have to do is catch one.
Now he's up like 2 fish on me already. I'm getting a little bit nervous. I'm going to have to start catching them.
Phil, that's already one more than I caught in the last show we did. If I just catch a big stick.
You got to see this fish here. It is a giant.
No.
Kent has got an absolute giant.
I caught the whole world, Phil, right here.
Kent, you got the bottom of the lake pulling it up like a tarp.
We'll be even from the last show. You know, I have to get some redemption. You know, I have been absolutely, you know, you embarrassed me. Dobbins just wore me out.
Little spotty.
Little spot.
Nice spot.
Oh, it's a spot.
Oh, is it a spot?
Yeah.
I at least got to get an assist. And D. Thomas was just brutal on me. But I did catch more fish than D did. You were running the camera boat that day. He got one lucky cast on a 7-pounder, and he thought he was a hero. See that? Look how far down she's got that Cinco. She didn't even mess Cinco up, D.
You want to hold that in, Kent, so you look good?
Love you, old man.
Hey, Kent, you know, I took my lumps, though. I broke that fish off, hit my front of my hat. I guess I should have retied after that.
There he is!
And then I kicked that fish in the water that was jumping all over the boat. Oh, stay in the boat! So I took my lumps too.
Yeah, I saw that show that you did with Russ Grays. That was the swim bait dart head show. You guys, you know, you talk about apples and oranges. You bring the best swim bait fishermen on the lake out here, and you guys wind up fishing with a spinner rod. What was that about?
Kent, this is true bass, so we just fish how the fish tell us to.
There you go. Are you stuck?
I am.
Are you
stuck.
hung up?
Actually, that might be that.
The good part about being on a budget, you can break it off.
That might be that tree limb you wanted me to catch.
Hey, all right. Oh, this is going to be good. There we go.
There it is, Kent.
There we go.
There it is, Kent. Now I just have to catch one fish during the day and I'm good.
You know, Phil, they call that karma.
We always have fun though, don't we?
Absolutely. You know, we should have started this show with, we ain't showing no maps to no spots to nowhere, because this is my home lake and this is where I make money.
Okay, we ain't putting no names on no map or on no wire, on no TV. I fish out here every weekend. I get a check with a lot of regularity, and I ain't giving all my good stuff away to the general public.
Love you, Thomas.
Welcome back to Galaxy Marine's True Bass.
It's so hard for bass fishermen to move offshore. We're so used to having something to cast at, a log, a stump, a grass bed, a rock, something. And it's hard for an angler to move offshore. That's why moving offshore, my depth finder is my underwater eyes. I see everything that goes on under my boat. You've heard Phil and I talk throughout the day about, oh, there's bait fish moving, or, oh, there they are, there's bait right there. And that's what we're doing. We're staying right on top of them. A lot of anglers put a depth finder on their boat and they mount it on the console, which is where you need one for driving at high speeds. But you also need a separate depth finder on the bow of your boat if you can do it and you can afford it. A good depth finder on the bow, and on my trolling motor, here on the bottom of my motor guide is right where my transducer's at. This is my transducer right here for the front of my, my depth finder. So everything I'm seeing is right directly underneath me. That trolling motor transducer is reading everything that's going on right directly underneath my boat. A lot of times you can get on these fish, drop your bait right down under your trolling motor and watch them come up and eat it. So it's kind of a tip that we do when we're setting our boats up. A good depth finder and a transducer on your trolling motor keeps you right on top of those fish when you're fishing this deep water structure or fishing offshore. Jigfish?
There he is. Jigfish, Kent.
Your secret jig?
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a nice fish. Here, let me get my line out of your way.
Not a bad one. Not a bad one.
Largemouth.
Just barely hooked.
Largemouth. We got to see if we can get the slam today. We get a largemouth, a spot, and a smallie. A nice fish.
Just got him on that football head. And again, you know, we're looking at a bag of Yamamoto hula grubs is about $5-6, and a few dollars for
some dart heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now what we're doing, Ken, is just going back and forth on this break and picking up a fish every couple passes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I think that's the key. If you find a school of fish this time of year that are feeding and they have the bait pinned up here on this break, don't run away from fish going to look for other fish.
It's just stacked down there, Kent.
Yeah, they're spread from 20 to 40, you know. I mean, there's just a big wad of fish out here chasing this pond smelt around. What do you got, Phil?
Kent, I got another stick, man.
That's a nice one. That's really nice. You want me to get him for you? You got him?
No, I got him.
You want me to thumb him?
I got him, don't worry.
You sure you got him?
I might have to boat him, but I got him.
Don't let him get that dirty stick in my boat. Oh, that's a good one. Phil, hold that up for the camera. Oh, you let him go too soon.
Not gonna happen, Kent.
Another one back there on a jig?
Got another one on a jig, Kent.
Fish was a little shallower, wasn't he?
He was. These fish are wanting to jump today.
Yeah, they are. Good fish. You know, not going to win any tournaments on it, but
sure is fun.
Fun day of fishing close to home. Another largemouth.
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah, that's a black.
So we're at the dam now, Kent. We made a little move.
Yeah, we just moved over on another little piece of structure, you know, that's out in front of the dam. You know, it looks like we're fishing the dam, but we're not. We're fishing some humps out here and some breaks. And
now you're throwing that crankbait, Kent. I'm throwing this jig, but I'm working it just like a crankbait.
Just like a crankbait, fishing it pretty fast.
Yep.
You know, the water's still pretty warm. It's, you know, it's 73. You know, it's obviously a lot colder down there where the fish are, but you know, you don't have to slow down too much yet. There's one, Phil, on a crankbait. Just come across that little rock pile, and boy, he whacked that crankbait when it came across there. A little better fish, too. Nice fish. Another largemouth, buddy.
It's a good one, Kent.
Another largemouth. Sexy shad. A nice largemouth. You like that crankbait. It's still under $5. $4.99 crankbait right there.
Yeah, I think that's real important when you're fishing jigs, is just keep in contact with the bottom and keep in contact with your bait.
Just like that. And then
sometimes
I saw that fish bite before you swung on it.
you can connect with them.
Sometimes you can connect with them.
Sometimes you can connect with them.
Double Phil.
There we go. There we go.
You know, that same deal. I dropped that jig back down and that fish came right back up and got it.
Yep. Clones.
Oh.
Let's see if we can catch another one there.
That was fun.
Great when it works out that way, isn't it, Kent?
It is. Today's rising gas prices also have an effect on your outboard oil. This is not the time to scrimp on outboard oil. Don't buy your outboard oil from the marts. You need to go to an authorized dealer like Galaxy Marine and buy the oil that matches up to your brand outboard. Stop by Galaxy Marine and they'll make sure you've got the right oil to protect your outboard.
Welcome back to Galaxy Marine's True Bass.
You know, jig fishing's not new to a lot of anglers. A lot of anglers flip a jig in the Delta, Clear Lake, even out here at Folsom when the lake's a little higher around the willow trees and the bushes. But jig fishing offshore and dragging a jig around, trying to imitate a crawdad, a lot of times that's a new thing for anglers. We talked a little bit in the show about the jig that we're fishing out there. I fish everything with a 4-aught light wire Gamakatsu hook and a football style head. This lead head is shaped just like a football. Get real good contact with it and you can really feel that jig on the bottom when you're working it along. I like several different weights. This is about a 1/2 ounce jig head, and as we get into a little later in the year and I start fishing a little bit deeper, I'll go a little bit bigger. I'll go to a 3/4 ounce jig head and sometimes even up to a 1 ounce jig head. This is where a lot of anglers start getting into fishing a little bit heavier tackle, 12, 15-pound test line, medium action casting rod. This is a 724 Lamglass rod, and fishing fluorocarbon line. I'm fishing 12-pound fluorocarbon. I like the fluorocarbon line. The trilene fluorocarbon, when I'm dragging it out there on those points, you can really feel everything that jig's doing. The slightest little bite will put a fish in the boat for you. Let's see if I can show you a spot you don't know about, and then you can show me a spot I don't know about. At least we get something out of today.
Kent, I don't know if there's a spot on this lake you don't know about.
Well, we'll try it.
Okay, let's
I'm
do
going
it.
to take you to a little. I'm going to take you to a little break I don't think you know about.
Okay, let's go. There we go.
Out here on my spot that he said didn't have any fish on it. You see that?
You got a good one there, Kent?
Nah, just a little guy.
Smallmouth?
Little smallmouth. We've completed it. One of everything today too now. A smallie, a black, and a spotted bass.
No, that's good.
Love catching smallmouth.
There's a fish off of your spot.
Another smallie?
Yes, sir. Isn't
that
that
weird?
funny how different fish move in?
Yeah, the other day it was all largemouth here.
Little smallmouth. Feisty sucker. It can't, that fish bit right when we started pulling it over the rocks.
Yeah, as soon as we got to the top of that break where it started to fall off a little bit. And
It's amazing how those fish will relate to rocks like that.
yeah, especially out here because it's all they got. You know,
Yeah.
Folsom, they don't have trees and grass beds and all that stuff. That is their structure.
So Kent, we caught 2 fish on your spot. Let's go to my spot, see if they're biting.
The spot you're going to show me I don't know about. I can't wait.
I hope. All right, we're to my spot. We'll see if we can catch some fish. I took the trolling motor from Kent. I sure hope they're here. I'm going to look bad.
Hey, Phil,
Yeah, Kent.
how much longer we got to fish your spot?
A few more minutes.
Okay. I thought that Lowrance quit working for a minute.
I'm seeing them down there.
All right.
They're just not cooperating. My fish didn't pan out on maybe my spot, maybe not.
No?
Let's go back to your fish.
You ready to go back to fish my fish?
Let's go wear them out a little more.
Okay, good. Let's go. Now that I got you back there where you're supposed to be, we're gonna drag around out here on this point. You know, we're quite a ways off the bank. We're only in like 20 feet of water. And these fish should be sitting out here. There's some pretty good bait out there in about 20. Is it a good one?
Nah.
For you folks at home, I want you to notice we moved back to one of my spots and Phil's hooked up again. Oh, that's a good fish. I'm not reeling in and I'm not getting out of his way. That's the best spot of bass
Hey,
of the
I'm not
day.
going to kick him this time.
That's the best spot of bass of the day, Phil.
There we go. Not kicking him this time. Not going to play soccer with him. Boot him around the boat. Just going to let him go.
Hey, Phil, my spot's better than your spot.
Hey, Ken, if you think I'm going to take you to my good stuff, you're
Come
mistaken,
on, man.
bud.
I'm not holding back on you today, okay? I am not holding out. You're seeing the good stuff at least.
Ken, I don't have enough good stuff to go around, bud.
Oh, man, I'm telling you.
You've been fishing this lake twice as long as I have, so you have twice as many spots.
You
as
caught
I
the
do.
one twice as big as mine off that spot, too.
This feels like a decent fish here, Ken.
Yeah, it does feel like, it looks like a good fish.
Let's see. That's a good one.
Oh, that's a nice fish. You want me to get him for you?
Yeah, could you?
Yeah, absolutely. What a beautiful spot. Oh. That's a big spot of bass. Don't lose him. Don't lose that big spot of bass.
There we go, Kent.
What a beautiful spot of bass.
That is gorgeous.
You know, he had that jig down there. What a beautiful spot of bass. Good job, man.
Where do you think that goes, Kent?
I think that fish is 3.5, close to 4. Maybe a little over 4, I guess.
That's a nice fish.
That's a beautiful spot.
That's a nice fish. Let's let her go.
You know, fishing on a budget, guys, that's no reason to have to go out there. If those expensive baits don't fit into your budget for fishing, no reason that you can't tie on a dart head and a jig and a bait under 10 bucks and get out here and go fishing. And we'll see you next week on True Bass. Thanks for a little redemption, but man, I thought I was doing a lot better until you ended the show with that one.
That was fun, Kent. Thanks for coming out.
Oh man, it's fun. Always fun to fish my home lake and get a chance to spend the time with the Galaxy crew. And we'll see you at the Triton Owners Tournament in October.